I remember, David, when you got the role, we saw your co-stars in Twisters, for instance, put out that video. Nick, for you, is there some tape of Bill Skarsgård in full Nosferatu outfit doing a dance in celebration of your casting that we haven't seen yet?
That was probably 9 months after we'd finished shooting, I think. So if Bill was still in makeup, that would have been a problem. I'd be like, Bill, we all went home.
Bill, let go. It's time. Yeah.
It's like, you were great. We love it. Stop.
Hey, buddy, eyes up here.
Nick, David. Hi, guys. How you doing?
Very
Good, lovely. How are you?
It's great to meet you, David. Nick, a pleasure as always, my friend. How are you?
It's very good to meet you. I'm a big fan of yours.
Oh, same, buddy. You killed it in this. I'm just happy that the 3 finalists for Superman can finally get along. There's no bad blood. We're here together. We're promoting a movie.
It's going to be exciting when we hear who got the part.
Yeah.
Exactly. We'll say that till the end of the interview. Look, you guys have been through a lot together. The shooting of the movie is one thing, but then there's the press tour. What have you only discovered about each other in the last month or two traveling around the world with each other on this press tour?
I just saw you eat a scone where you put the jam and cream and then put the other side of the scone on top and ate it like a sandwich.
Oh, he's a monster, is what you're saying. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think I've ever seen anyone do that
I feel
before.
like I'm just representing my country, abroad.
It's outrageous.
What have I learned about you? You're quite mean. You say a lot of mean things.
Yeah, mean-spirited.
Yes.
Yeah.
He was only sweet on set. He was saving it for the character, but now you're seeing the true side of Nick, which is diabolical.
Lovely on set. It was wonderful to be with him.
I think press is more fun when you're mean to each other.
Yeah.
One thing I've been very impressed by, look, the performances are great, the movie is fantastic, but your social media game on this press tour is really on point, guys. And Nick, I know you're plugged in. Like, you were the guy that showed me basically what Dub Smash was 10 years ago. You go way back with all of this.
You guys are dating yourselves there.
Dub Smash was the original, I guess, TikTok lip sync sort of thing, and now
Right. So
we've had fun doing all those.
Yeah, very fun. We have a great team that tells us what to do, but we've leaned into it for sure.
It's quite a part of acting with
yeah.
lip syncing.
That's why they train you at Juilliard, is to eventually lip sync to strange memes and TikTok dances, etc. Right, David?
Yeah, there's a whole course. I mean, it's obviously a recent addition, for the changing times, but yeah.
Is there anything that's felt like, what am I doing? Is this real?
Oh, yeah, all of it. Every moment of it.
Give me one. What was one moment where you're like, is this a prank? Are you pranking me? This is actually going to help the cause of the movie?
Well, I can't now because now that it's all coming out, it does make sense.
It does make sense.
But in isolation, any one of them,
It keeps us young.
there is a little bit of an element. There's a little bit of an element of like, you're the social media. You've just met the social media team, and they come to you and they say, we've got this Kardashian audio where you say this and you say that, and I just did have a little bit of a thought of, I'm a serious actor.
Okay, guys, we're back. Did you miss us? Because we missed you.
They are a great social media team. The lovely thing about them is they haven't made us dance.
You're not done yet. You don't.
Yeah.
The second half of this interview, we're all getting up and dancing at our respective Zoom boxes. Look, getting the call for this is a feat in and of itself, obviously. These roles are iconic. When you get the role, like I remember, David, when you got the role, we saw your co-stars in Twisters, for instance, put out that video. Is that meaningful for you to see folks cheering you on, colleagues, friends, to see videos like that?
Yeah, that was in some ways, it was the most concentrated, wonderful part of the experience was in the couple of hours after the news broke, getting text messages from people and phone calls from people and videos from people. Brandon sent me that video from the Twisters set of them all cheering. To feel like, it is an accomplishment, it is a win, it is sort of what I've been aiming for, what I've been hoping for. But the real win is when you get to deliver the win to the people who have been rooting for you, who are hoping that you get an opportunity like that, who believe in you, who think you deserve an opportunity like that. Yeah, so that was a real fill up of joy and love.
Nick, for you, is there some tape of Bill Skarsgård in full Nosferatu outfit celebrating, doing a dance in celebration of your casting that we haven't seen yet?
No, sadly, that was probably 9 months after we'd finished shooting, I think. So if Bill was still in makeup, that would have been a problem. I'd be like, Bill, we all went home 8 months.
Bill, let go. It's time. Yeah.
It's like, you were great. We love it. Stop. I think it was actually during right after the end of the actors' strike was when James called me to ask about playing Lex, which was brilliant. It was just like a lovely full circle moment because originally I'd met and screen tested for Superman. So when he called and said, hey, I think Lex is the character for you, I was like, oh, this is good, because when I first read the script, I kind of had an instinctual reaction to the Lex scenes where I was like, I think I could maybe be more suited to those. And also having met David at the screen test and just been like, wow, this, first of all, you embody everything that you would hope Superman to be physically and all those things, but also then getting to work with him, the energy that he brings to set, the kindness and the support, and how he makes everything about making sure everyone else on set is happy and content and looked after. Is just kind of the perfect person to play that character, and also brilliant actor to make it like different,
Specific and different. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a very difficult character to play. I know. I tried to audition for it. Doing an incredible job.
You guys are obviously, look, you're the latest custodians in a long line of great actors who assume these roles. Like, when you get this, David, are you kind of part of the unofficial DC superhero club? Does Robert Pattinson reach out? I know you guys aren't necessarily going to cross paths, but like, does he text you? Do you break bread with Henry Cavill just to like have any kind of exchange? Do any of those kind of things happen?
No, Robert Pattinson didn't reach out, and now I'm angry about it. To hear from him.
What a jerk. Yeah, no.
It is a rather small club of those of us who get to wear the cape. I did get a lovely letter from Henry just as we were wrapping up filming. And I actually sent a letter to Tyler Hoechlin as they were wrapping up. They were shooting their last season. There were some fun parallels between the letters exchanged. There is some spirit of Superman that gets... I mean, it makes sense why each of them played the character, because
Right.
there was something in what they wrote that was similar. There was a shared spirit. And then I have very much enjoyed, as new characters have gotten cast in the other parts of the DCU, I've very much enjoyed reaching out to those people and feeling like I get to welcome them into the DCU.
Reaching out to Millie, I assume, or Momoa, who's obviously already been a part of it, but he's now doing Lobo, that kind of a thing?
Yeah, I don't have Momoa's number. I reached out to him. I did leave him I sent him a comic of Lobo as a congratulations for starting filming. But I got to reach out to our Clayface
Yep.
and our Jon Stewart in the Lantern series.
Oh, great, Aaron, yeah.
Who I'm very excited to see go to work.
Yeah, hell of an actor, Aaron Pierre, totally.
Yeah.
Look, I've heard you guys talk a little bit about the music of the film, and obviously that John Williams score is integrated really well in this kind of reinterpretation. I'm curious though, like music for your characters. Do you think about like what kind of music Superman or Lex would be into? What's their vibe? What's their genre?
I was lucky where James actually had some of John Murphy's new score for this film that he sent me months before we started filming, and so that was kind of Lex's theme, and I would listen to it multiple times a day. So I probably listened to it hundreds, if not, it could have been maybe 1,000 times, not exaggerating. I listened to it a lot before we went to set, and James played it on set during one of our climactic moments on set film. So it's interesting as an actor because you have your imagination and what's on the page and the inputs of the director and other cast members and everyone around you, but then there's always so many elements of a film that happen after what happens on the set.
Yeah.
So it's interesting when there's score or something like that beforehand, and you can really kind of jump 2 stages in the process and be like, okay, I know the music potentially that's going to be over this, so you get a better sense of the feeling of what's going to come. And then my mum knows a lot of classical music, so I sent her that piece of the score and I was like, hey, which composers and stuff do you feel are maybe similar to this? And she would send me a few pieces like Rachmaninoff and stuff and be like, hey, listen to this. I feel like this is similar. So,
But what do you think also like within the universe, like Lex actually in his day to day? What is Lex listening to? What is Clark listening to on their playlist?
no, I think that.
Somehow he's broken the fourth
So
wall.
the Superman movie exists in the
Rachmaninoff and
Rachmaninoff.
similar,
Yeah.
and
Oh, I see.
similar
Got it.
composers and that sort of like that. Yeah, not my theme song.
That's very meta. Yeah, exactly.
Although actually, probably does.
David, what about you? What do you think Superman?
I don't know. I'm so bad at that. So I just got to give my own answer, which is like American songbook jazz standards from the first half of the century. That kind of, feel good, lighthearted, old school
But this is one of the
music.
things about you that makes you perfect for this character. Because although it's modern day, it's also kind of timeless, and you have a wonderful like silver screen quality in you and your performance.
Thank you.
It's like a classic movie star from another era. You are.
Yeah, embarrass him, ruin the friendship right now with compliments. What about?
Well, this is why I keep hanging out with him.
Yeah, exactly. Tell me this: what's the more complicated relationship? What relationship in the film needs more therapy? Superman and Lex, or Superman and Lois? Who needs to really go into couples therapy?
I think we've got each other figured out. You know my deal, and I know your deal for the most part.
Yeah, I think from Lex's perspective, certainly he's kind of self-aware.
Yeah.
I think they both are probably to a degree where it's like, yeah, we know what we are.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What do you think their love languages would be?
Punching.
Punch.
Words of affirmation.
Yeah, yeah. I feel like Lex could use some words of affirmation just to boost his spirit, his ego.
Quality time.
I think he's surrounded by too many yes men.
What else is there? Gifts. Gift giving. You never give me any
Ooh,
gifts.
kryptonite. So sweet of you, darling.
Exactly.
Which is scarier to you, David? Is it bald Nick or blonde Nick? Which one is more
Blonde
intimidating?
Nick for sure. Blonde Nick.
This is
Scares me.
disconcerting to you? This is upsetting?
It's because he likes it better than his normal hair. He's kind of given him this fire beneath his eyes, and I feel like there's a part of him that's awakening that I'm not familiar with, and frankly want nothing to do with.
I'm a danger.
To yourself and others.
Yeah.
And finally, Nick, I know you mentioned before that part of this came about, you DM'd James when he was taking over DC. Is that one of the good takeaways? Is that a lesson to folks out there? Slide into someone's DMs, you might make some magic happen for you?
I wouldn't stand behind that as a takeaway. I wouldn't want to put my name to that. But I followed James for a while, and we kind of, I think at some points maybe almost been connected on things. And I was like, I'm not normally one to do that, but I was like, you know what? I'm just going to send him a message. And I was like, there's no harm in being like, hey, I like your work. I like DC. I'm interested to see what you do. If there's ever anything that I could be right for, let me know.
Look where we are.
And here's some photos.
Here's my headshot, just in case.
Yeah,
Truly.
link to my IMDb page.
Exactly. If you're not familiar. Congratulations to both of you. David, hopefully we'll meet in person one of these days. Big fan of your work in this and everything. And Nick, always killing it. Congratulations to you both.
Good to see you, man.
Thanks, sir.
Thank you.
See you guys.